So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all for our first speaker session by none other than Mr. Nixon Joseph. He is a former president and CEO, SBI Foundation and marathon runner. Friends, just to give you a brief history about the marathon term came from a battle of Marathon in 490 BC, where a messenger reigned continuously without a break to a Greek capital to inform the assembly that they have won the battle before collapsing and dying. So this concept is not new. During the fellowship, I was telling the members over here that I have also taken a part in 4 or 5 marathons. And honestly, I don't have words to explain the experience I had. Honestly, when you see hundreds of people running or walking along with you, it gives a different kind of energy, and you don't feel actually tired. As you know, Rotary Club of Mumbai Western Elite has taken an initiative where you can contribute to community by just walking. Now you see the motivation, fitness along with serving the community. With every step, there is someone who is actually donating on your behalf. Without much ado, let me pass the dice to our host of the day, Rotarian Shripal, and I request him to take this wonderful session ahead. Over to you, Rotarian Shripal.
Thank you, President Zubair. I hope I'm audible enough to all of you.
Yes,
and
very
first
much.
of all, good evening and welcome all fellow Rotarians from RCME, from other clubs, and the distinguished guests present at the moment. It's my pleasure to be host today, introduce Nixon and converse with him on his journey to become marathon legend. It would not have been a better time actually to hear Nixon, especially when we have district marathon event going on, which will be touching little hearts. The marathon that will generate fund for pediatric surgery. I am very happy to introduce Nixon. Let me straight go to introduce Nixon Joseph. Nixon Joseph, a CSR consultant, former president and chief operating officer of SBI Foundation. He is a postgraduate in English language and literature. He joined State Bank of India in 1985 as a probationary officer. As a career banker, he has extensive experience in various facets of banking like corporate credit, retail operations, international banking, etc. He has worked all across India. He was also manager operations at SBI Bahrain and chief executive officer at SBI Tokyo branch between 2008 and 2012. He's a certified credit professional, certified banking compliance professional, and certified information system banker. He was president of Sakura Toastmasters Club at Tokyo and also started the Tokyo Debating Society. His interest in long distance running has led to his completion of 51 full marathons of 42.195 kilometers. 51 full marathons of 42.195 kilometers. Tremendous. Tremendous is the only word. Thus, being the only official among the 1.1 million, that is 11 lakhs bank employees in India, to have achievement, making him popular as SBI marathon legend. That he was never an athlete, the fact that he was never an athlete, yet started full marathon running at the age of 45 years. He went ahead and completing full marathons and still running. It has been inspiring thousands of people, especially youth. Various institutions have been inviting him to share his experience of running full marathons and motivating the youth. He has been running in all the SBI Green Marathons to spread the message of sustainability. In spite of lockdown, he has dared to complete 7 full marathons by jogging inside his apartment, giving the message that Where there is a will, there is an inspiring way. 7 full marathon during lockdown inside his uh, apartment. That's amazing, commendable, very inspiring. As a coordinator, SBI Youth for India Fellowship Program, he was instrumental in inspiring and mentoring 100 youths every year and has taken the fellowship to higher level. He has been mentoring many social entrepreneur units started by SBI Youth for India Fellows. He has completed the social entrepreneurship course of Ashoka change makers and with distinctions. As president of SBI Foundation, the CSR arm of State Bank of India, he has supported strong impact projects to help the underprivileged and needy. He has been a regular speaker in various CSR forums all across India. Till date, during the lockdown period, he has participated in 175 webinars as chief guest of honor, panelist speaker, and in many other places. He is the recipient of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award 2018 for Excellence in Public Service and Dr. Kalam Memorial Ignited Minds Awards. His name figures in the Be the Inspiration book released by Rotary Club, Mumbai, where 45 inspiring Indians were listed. He was recently felicitated as COVID warrior by Governor of Maharashtra for spearheading COVID relief activities. He was selected as Aspire Circle Fellow. What a journey, Nixon. We are all excited to hear your journey in the following set of question answers that we'll have. And we are really looking forward to be motivated, learn, and start running from tomorrow itself. Welcome, Nixon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I would like to ask, first question is, you had a cushy job, very comfortable government job. We all know, India में सब बोलते हैं government job है तो life अच्छा है. So you had a cushy job. You were doing very well. And suddenly, what was the bug that bit you that you started running marathons?
At the outset, I thank Rotary Club of Mumbai Elite for inviting me today and be part of your event today. And I also thank Sripal Shah for Rotarian Sripal Shah for that detailed introduction. As already told, I was having a cushy life. I was in the comfort zone till my age of 45. I was focused mostly on studies and my office work. And that was going on quite comfortably. And at the age of 45, I was in Mumbai in SBI's corporate center, looking after corporate credit policy and procedures. At that time, I was thinking about my lifestyle, leaving home at 9 a.m. and coming back home at 9 p.m. Focusing only on office, I thought life is becoming mechanical. And life was quite comfortable in the sense that after some time, the work becomes routine for you. Then you need not apply much thoughts to it. You can just go ahead and still earn a name in the work sector because you are thorough in that work. That means you are in a comfort zone and life became mechanical. I began to think whether life is only working or studying like that, whether life should be spent only working or doing some job, etc. Then it came to me that life is much, much bigger than the work we do. Life is not just for doing work alone. So that thought came into my mind that life is much bigger, so I should start doing something outside my work. That was one thought. Second thought was, I was thinking that I should provide inspiration to others as many, like when we see Sachin Tendulkar or any Olympian, we feel inspired. But then every one of us may not be as lucky to be Sachin Tendulkar or an Olympian. But in our own way, if we do something different, we can inspire others. So if we do something differently, we definitely inspire others. So it's Rotarians also I have seen, many of them go out of their way to help others. That inspires other people to do something better again. That is one aspect. So I was thinking I should provide inspiration to others. So how to be inspiring to others to do things differently. I also felt in my mind that we have 250,000 bankers in SBI. No one goes to a banker and tells you are inspiring. Like you will tell our customer service is very bad. We are not getting loan from the bank. Like no one, like even after giving the loan, no one goes and tells you are very inspiring to any banker. So I was thinking all this will be my fate too. After retire at the age of 60, people will think he's a retired banker. I thought I should change all this. I should be different from what I am now. So I was thinking, what should I do differently to inspire others? That thought was in my mind. At that time, the Mumbai floods took place in 2005, if I am correct. 2005 Mumbai floods took place. I was in corporate center Nariman Point of SBI corporate center, and my residence was at Sion. It was almost 12 kilometers, I think. As everyone knows, Mumbai floods, the traffic, everything was out of gear. There was no bus, no train. And everywhere it was flooded only. Like many places I found, my water was almost like a neck high. That much water was there. But still I thought I should reach home that day evening so as to bring my daughters from the school that was at Podar School in Santa Cruz. So somehow I had to reach home. So many of my colleagues stayed back in office because it was, I think, a flood of huge proportions in 2005. But I thought, no, I will somehow reach home, and I started walking. But at many places I found water was at a very dangerous level. And somehow wading through water, it took, I think, almost 5 hours or something for me to reach from Nariman Point to Sion walking. But then after that, after reaching home, I didn't feel much tired. The next day morning also, I went to Santa Cruz to pick my daughters, and that through I had to wade through water, but then it was not that high. Water level was not that high, maybe up to knee deep water was there. Again, I came back, I didn't feel much tired. Then I thought, why don't I do some endurance exercise? I can do something related to endurance. I can then be different. Then only I saw the advertisement for Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon. And I registered for it without knowing what is the distance of a full marathon. I was only thinking I should do something different and then inspire others. So I registered for the full marathon, and then I came to know it is 42 kilometers. I was never an athlete in my life. I was only focused on studies. So then I told my friends, I have registered for the Mumbai full marathon. Many of them told me you won't even complete 2 kilometers. Many of them told me that you will surrender at the starting point itself. And many of them told me, don't venture into such adventures. Better be happy with better be comfortable with your bank, work, etc. Go home, take rest like that. Don't distract yourself or get into such adventures. But then I thought, no, if I don't do it, I won't be different. And also, if we all of us go back into our own life, from childhood onwards, we are brought up by the opinions of others. Our teachers will tell, our relatives will tell, our parents will tell, our friends will tell, classmates will tell, you are not good in studies, you will not do well in life. You will never become a good musician, you will never become a good sportsman, you will never become a public speaker. All these opinions come into us from various sources, and over a period we believe that this is true. And we live in a prison or cage of such opinions and beliefs. These opinions become our beliefs. So I also was brought up in that many of my classmates, friends used to tell, you are very good in studies. You will get a rank or you will top the university, but you are not good in sports. You will not even complete 2 kilometers or 5 kilometers. You are not good in any other activity than studies. So I was born, brought up, grew in with that opinion, and I was in that cage. I decided at that time, at that age of 45, that I'm going to break this prison. I'm going to break from this cage of opinions thrust on me by others. Everyone sitting here, everyone has a lot of potential. We don't use it because we are more guided by the opinions of others. They tell us you cannot sing. They tell us you can't dance. But all of us have all these qualities to a great extent. Only it has to be developed. So I thought whatever it is, I'm going to register. I will I will go for this marathon. And the race started in January 2006, if my memory is correct. January 2006, the race started. After 7 kilometers, I couldn't go ahead. After 7 kilometers, I got dehydrated. My body was full of pain, exhausted. I didn't know what to do. Every joint was aching. At that moment, the comments of my friends, the opinion given, the advice given by my friends, colleagues, all these came into my mind. I was thinking whether I took a wise decision, whether I should surrender here. Then it came to my mind that if I surrender now, I cannot be different. If I surrender now, I cannot inspire others. And if it was such an easy thing, many would have registered for the Mumbai Marathon and completed it. And no one has compelled me to run this marathon. I took it on myself. Why should I surrender? I should not give up. I should keep on trying. Every 5 kilometers, this thought came into my mind of surrendering. But then I thought, I'm not going to surrender, whatever it be, even by walking, I'm going to complete 42 kilometers. I dragged myself up to 42 kilometers. And it took 7 hours for me to complete my first full marathon. But I was very proud when I got the finisher's medal, because from a position of zero physical activity, I completed my first full marathon. And that finisher's medal gave me a powerful message. If you are determined, you can achieve anything in life. That marathon gave me the message that nothing is impossible if you are determined. So I started practicing more, doing more marathons. And I did 3, I registered for the 2007 and 2008 Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon, completed it with a much better time of, I think, 5 hours, 30 minutes. From 7, I brought it to 5 hours, 30 minutes. I went to Japan for an assignment of 4 years for heading the SBI's Japan operations, Tokyo branch. In Japan, I found 70-year, 80-year, 90-year-old people jogging, running, swimming, cycling, working out in the gym, etc., taking care of their body like anything. I found in Japan that after 60, they start living again with much more energy. In India, after 60 years, you not only retire from your job, you retire from your life also. That energized me more, and I started doing 2 full marathons while I was in Japan. And when I returned to India, I continued with in the same spirit, and I started doing 4 full marathons per year. And before the lockdown was there, I completed almost 38 full marathons. So that was my shift from a banker to a marathoner. And I'm proud to tell that now most people in the bank also think that I'm an athlete than a banker. Whereas my specialization is corporate credit and international banking.
Wow. So
But
from
yes.
yes, please go ahead.
But then when I took this decision in 2005 to start a marathon, that is a turning point in my life. It changed my outlook. And I could change the outlook of thousands.
Wow. So from a corporate credit professional, you have actually changed the opinion of all of us that a banker cannot motivate a common man. You are actually an inspiration. You are actually a motivation. In fact, I would go on to say that you are the one who found Apda Mein Avsar, because I think the thought started while you were walking in the flood, and that flood benefited you big time. Most of the time, this kind of problems do not inspire people.
Yes.
Here, it has been a big inspiration for you. So that's wonderful to know. So my next question would be, what are the challenges that you faced while reaching the milestone of your first complete marathon in terms of preparation? How did you prepare and what are the challenges that you faced while after registering for the first marathon, first full marathon?
See, as I told, this was my first full marathon, and I didn't know much about marathons. So after I registered for the marathon, I Googled and found out a lot of details about people who completed marathons and all. Then only I found like what a challenge I have taken upon myself. So a doubt came into my mind whether I'll be able to complete 42 kilometers. And it requires at least 6 months practice to complete a full marathon comfortably. But then I thought I have registered only another, I think 2 months were there for me to participate in this marathon. Then I thought at least I will start walking. Because I tried to run at least maybe 2 to 3 kilometers. I found I was panting. I couldn't move ahead. Because first time I am entering running. So I was thinking this is something tough for me. But still I continued. In fact, during those 2 months, remember first week I did 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers running, then improved it to 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers. And I think by the end of 2 months, I could run maybe 7 kilometers comfortably, that's all. But then 7 kilometers is like nothing compared to 42 kilometers. 42 kilometers is a very, very respectable distance.
Yes,
Very daunting.
yes.
So what I did was one day I walked from Sion to Mulund. And I think it was to and fro could be 18 kilometers or 19 kilometers, just to see even the distance of 20 kilometers, whether I'll be able to complete by walking. And that was, I think these were the preparations I did for my first marathon, mainly because I was not aware about what is a marathon. And this is something which I tell to many people who enter into new activities, that you have to be thoroughly aware of what you're going to do. So many ways I found marathon running and entrepreneurship or starting a startup. All these have a lot of similarities. Because unless you know what you are going to do, you should not venture into it. So if you are going for such a big activity, we should discuss with experts. We should read a lot. We should practice a lot. So this same applies to entrepreneurs also, social entrepreneurs, startup founders also, that they should know many things about the run or the activity which they are going to do. The second thing is, there are a lot of hurdles on the way. After 4 kilometers, your mind will tell it is enough, why you should go ahead. And many people, you see, many of the runners are like running at a very high speed. That also disappoints you. After 10 kilometers, you will feel like surrendering. So a lot of such challenges or hurdles are there for an entrepreneur or for a marathon runner. But then if you tell repeatedly, reinforce in your mind that I'm not going to give up, then your body will reach there.
Excellent. So, what are the various causes and organizations for which you have run?
See, initially I used to participate in marathons just like that because I wanted to challenge myself. So why I do 4 or 5 full marathons per year is every 2 months or 3 months, I have a challenge before me, a physical and mental challenge. So if you have a physical and mental challenge, it's like coming out of the comfort zone. You have to prepare for it. You have to discipline yourself for it. And that there is a challenge for you. You have to face it. You have to overcome it. That excites you, which means that when I am participating in 4 full marathons per year, I am excited and energized all through all the 365 days. That is why I do 4 full marathons. Otherwise, I would tell you, if you are focusing on time, you want to complete within a very respectable time of 4 hours, 4.5 hours, etc. You can do only 1 or maximum 2 full marathons per year. If you're doing more means it's only to challenge myself. That is my aim of participating in a marathon even now. So initial few marathons, I just ran like that, just to familiarize with myself with a full marathon or the running itself. When I was in Japan, I was requested by an NGO to run for them. And then that was for supporting families of children suffering from cancer. That was something new to me. They told me you have to register and then include our name for charity and the people will start donating for you. And I was amazed. I registered for that Tokyo Marathon. And as regards Tokyo Marathon also, I should tell you, 350,000 people apply for Tokyo Full Marathon. 350,000, whereas there are only 30,000 positions. Only 30,000 people can participate in the full marathon. 350,000 people apply, and I'm very lucky. And there is a lottery ticket for it. And I'm very lucky. All 4 years, I won the Tokyo Marathon lottery and participated in Tokyo Marathon.
Wow.
So I registered for this marathon, and then it was something gave me a lot of satisfaction. It energized me more because every kilometer I complete, I'm helping some family who is in need. Every kilometer I complete, someone is donating for me. And whatever hardships, whatever hurdles, whatever struggle I have to undergo for completing 42 kilometers, there is a purpose for it. There is a cause for it. I'm running for those families, those children who are suffering from cancer. And I raised almost 2.5 lakhs rupees, 2.5 lakhs in terms of rupees in that first year. And I think second year, third year also, I supported that cause. And I was raising almost 3 lakhs per year for that NGO. And I'm very proud to see that money being utilized for these families who are children have affected by cancer and all. That gave a lot of satisfaction. Even now, I'm very proud that I could do it, because that is, you're sacrificing your time, your life, everything for a noble cause. So that is one thing I did. And then I participated in all the SBI green marathons all over India. That is from October to March. Almost every weekend, I used to go to various state capital, various places in India to participate in the SBI Green Marathon, to inspire SBI colleagues to start doing something related to fitness, one. Second thing is to spread the awareness of sustainability, and also spread the message that everyone can be a change maker. At the age of 45, I had decided to become a change maker. I wanted to change myself, and I could do it. If I am able to do, all of you listening to me, everyone else can do. It's only a question of determination. It's only having a purpose in mind. If you are having a purpose in mind, if you think that your run, your walk is going to help someone who is in need of money, then you will rise up in the morning. That will be your ikigai. That will be your goal. You will get up in the morning. Like one person was telling me that he usually wakes up late at 8 o'clock and all. Have a purpose in life. A purpose like if you wake up morning and run 1 kilometer, someone is going to donate 10 rupees or 100 rupees to someone in need. You will wake up automatically. You will wake up excitedly with lot of energy in the morning and do whatever it is possible. So it's all possible for everyone. So I run causes for that, and I ran to spread the awareness about breast cancer. And like that, it was going on. I used to run for a lot of causes. Wherever like NGOs used to approach me and request me to run, I used to do it because it is a noble thing which you are doing.
Wow. So from motivation, you have been generating so much of funds for the noble cause. And I'm sure there must have been a lot of sacrifice at the family end as well. Would you like to throw some light on that?
Okay, see, marathon is one thing. It is not run in a group. When you practice, you do it alone. Okay, there are marathon teams and all who do it together. But in many, like most of us do it alone because like there is no group or teams nearby, or it meant the timings may not be convenient at all. So at a personal level, it is very tough to practice 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, etc. alone. So when you get used to it, you find that you get a lot of free time to think clearly. A lot of clarity comes into my mind when I do that running solo. That is one thing. And any running, be it 21 kilometers or 42 kilometers, it requires a lot of practice. And for any runner, someone who is interested in runner, who is having running as a passion, any holiday means practice only. So that disturbs the family harmony. Because the morning itself when you go for practice, holidays when you go for practice, it then when you go for practice, it takes so much hours, you come back tired. But then my family initially, though they were not very happy with my idea of spending hours on marathon running and all, later they came to know of the benefits it has accrued to me. The benefit is accruing to many, like many colleagues, many friends are inspired by what I am doing. And they will tell at the age of 50 he is running, at the age of 55 he is running, at the age of 59 he is running. Why can't we do it? So many started doing a lot of like walking or jogging or even marathon itself, many started doing it. And that is something very like big help I am doing to them. It's a great support I'm doing to them because I'm changing their lifestyle. And then also I was running for various causes and all. Therefore, the family was very, like later they were very happy that I'm doing some things. Though it is taking, like I told you, much of the family time and all. When we do something for others, we get more happiness. Why Rotary Club? In spite of like everyone, Rotary Club, many businessmen are there, many professionals are there. Why people join and participate in the Rotary Club? Because if you do something for others, it gives more happiness. See, all of us, when we compare, whatever things we have, that may give us happiness, but when we do something small, even small, for others, it gives us a lot of happiness. That is why philanthropy is thriving. A lot of Rotary clubs are there. A lot of people, in spite of their busy schedule, are joining Rotary clubs only because of that. When we do something for others, one, it is a triumph of humanity. Second, doing help for others gives us a lot of mental peace, lot of happiness, lot of satisfaction.
So well said. While you have practiced so hard, your family has compromised and adjusted on family time. And with so many achievements of running 50 plus marathons, what is your best timing for a full marathon so far?
Yes. No, it's a very interesting question because many people ask me, what is my timing? Because we compare the success of running based on timing. I do not subscribe to that idea, because if you are a professional runner, you should compare your timings, all these things. For a recreational runner, I always feel that we should focus on enjoying the race. We should focus on enjoying the running course. If you don't enjoy running, running is a big punishment. So I always focus on completing 42 kilometers. It's not about the time. And I would tell that my best time was 4 hours, 30 minutes in the Tokyo Marathon. And I would always tell that for everyone who wants to do running, like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 21 kilometers, don't focus on time. Do it as some activity which is going to help your body and keep you in good health. Do it as an activity which is going to give you more enjoyment, more happiness. Do it as an activity which gives you more excitement. Don't focus on time, because if I focus on like a Rotarian Sripal Shah has completed the run within 4 hours, then the thought comes to me, I should defeat him. I should complete within 3 hours, 50 minutes. Otherwise, I would have boasting rights. We should come away from this kind of comparing timings. We should run for ourselves and enjoying the run. I run for improving myself. I run for growing myself in my own, in various ways. Because marathon is one run, one activity where other fellow runners help you in completing the race. If you drag yourself or you are not able to continue the race also, many of the co-runners come and tell, come on, let's complete it like that. That doesn't happen in any other game. Because in any other game, all the runners are competitors. Here, other than the professional runners who run for prizes, all others are just running to complete 42 kilometers. And please remember that anyone who completes 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 21 kilometers, for anyone who completes a distance is a winner. We should all be guided by that feeling. And except for professionals, we shouldn't be bothered about timing in running at all. Otherwise, you won't be able to enjoy. My thought will be how to defeat or overcome the timings of Rotarian Sripal Shah or Rotarian Girija Deshpande. That should not be my aim. My aim should be to run comfortably, complete 42 kilometers, improve myself.
So well said. That do it to enjoy, run to enjoy. Moving forward, my question would be, what are the other than name, fame, health, and reputation, what more did you gain by participating in so many marathons?
See, there are a lot of benefits which accrue to you by doing not only marathons, something out of your normal schedule. It can be painting, it can be dancing, it can be singing, it can be playing musical instruments, or debate, or participating in Rotary Club activities. Something you do out of your normal schedule. That gives you a lot of benefits. And as regards the name and fame and all, I will tell you, I never thought that I would be inspiring thousands of people inside the bank and outside the bank. I will tell you one incident which I was very, very surprised when I was doing the Mumbai Marathon. It was almost 10 kilometers away from the finishing point. I saw a young colleague. I didn't know him at all. A young colleague, he was heading a branch, SBI branch. He rushed towards me and he told me he wanted to hug me. I asked him why. He was telling me, no, you are an inspiration. He was, I think, a 29, 30-year-old young colleague. And he was telling that when you run in your 50s, 55 years, 57 years, you are inspiring thousands of young people inside the bank. And he was telling he is one of them and he wanted to hug me. I told I'm sweating like anything. please don't do me. He told, no, I don't mind even if you are sweating, I want to hug you. So that you get that kind of response, that kind of gesture you see only when you are doing things differently and with passion.
Well
It
said.
happens to everything. And then other benefits, I'll tell you, it has made me more optimistic, more determined, more confident. It has improved my productivity because I will tell you, when you focus on dancing or music or running, any activity, and you excel in that, you show passion in that, it is not a one-off activity. See, suppose you are part of a Rotary Club and do charity activities, it's not a one-off thing. It becomes part of your life. And when it becomes part of your life, you carry it wherever you go. So when you're doing work in office, when you're in office, that excellence, that values you incur, all these you carry into your office and your productivity improves. So it has improved my productivity, and every marathon renews my faith in my abilities. And also every marathon, I told you, it is 42 kilometers respectable distance. It makes you very humble. It makes you humble because at any moment, at any distance, you can collapse. You are able to enjoy more the nature, everything, etc. But then one thing I learned from running marathons, 42 kilometers, in spite of completing 51 kilometers, is that you have to be humble. Because human achievement is nothing compared to what is in nature, etc. So we have to be humble. I have been taught humility by marathon running. And I told you confidence, optimism, determination, etc. by this marathon running. And I'm sure all these will accrue if you do other activities also.
So true. And so many HR lessons for us as well. Going forward, how has COVID affected the way you practice?
See, COVID, in fact, disrupted our normal life. Lockdown, we were asked to stay inside our homes. So we couldn't practice in jogging tracks or parks or gardens, etc. So it was a disappointment for runners. So many of my friends told me you can't do marathon practice going forward and all. But then I thought, see, for every crisis you have in life, you have to accept that crisis and then respond positively. So I accepted the fact that grim reality that you cannot run outside and spread the COVID or be vulnerable to COVID. You have to practice it safely. So I thought I will do it inside my house. And the same way many friends, runners told me, you won't be able to do that marathon inside your house, inside your apartment. I told I will try. It took so many hours. I think it took 9 hours for me to complete 42 kilometers, but I didn't give up because I wanted to give the message to everyone that if there is a will, there is an inspiring way to achieve it. If there is a will, there is an inspiring way to achieve it. So not only about marathon running, anything. COVID has, of course, disrupted our normal life. But if we have some goals in mind, if some normal activities have to be pursued, accept the reality, and then if you want to complete it, you will be able to do it if you are having a will to do it. COVID should not be an excuse to not to do anything.
So true, so true.
So what happened, I completed almost 7 to 8 full marathons. No, inside my apartment, I did.
I believe you must be the only runner who would have completed 7 to 8 marathons inside the apartment. I'm sure in India, I'm not sure about the globally, but so inspiring to all of us. So why do you think people should motivate themselves to participate in such marathons, or what are the benefits of participating in such events?
The human life is one, you are given only one life. Second thing, it may be short, it may be long, you are given one thing. Everyone is given a lot of potential. There is no point in living life without any excitement. every part of your life, you should remain active, energized, and should be happy about what you are doing. We are in office, we should be able to enjoy what we are doing in office. Outside office also, we should be able to enjoy what we are doing. And also we should like capitalize on the abilities we are endowed with. Everyone, any person of any status is endowed with a lot of possibilities, lot of potential. Are we using it? We are not using it. So we have to be self-motivated, and this self-motivation can come if you are having some goal in mind. So in my case, my goal was that I should inspire others. I should be different from the 250,000 officials of SBI. And I did it. I am introduced everywhere as a marathoner, a marathon legend. That is something, that was my goal, I achieved it. In that way, so if that is your ikigai, as the Japanese word, ikigai, your purpose in life, then you will get up in the morning or throughout the life, you'll be excited because this goal is there in front of you. Same way, whatever, like we should all have some goal in mind. And we should have, see, disappointments in life should not overcome us and tell that this is enough in life, I have nothing to look forward, etc. No, everyone is having challenges in life. Even I have challenges in life. I have my disappointments, but then we shouldn't surrender to it. We should have that never give up spirit and try to achieve our purpose in life. We should find what is it that will excite me. Some maybe a social service activity with a Rotary Club. So in that way, let us involve more with Rotary Club. Do it passionately. For some, it may be dancing. Then let us focus on it. For some, it may be learning a new language. So if you are able to do these things, find some purpose in life, do it with passion, then life will be exciting. You will be putting life into your days, not days into your life. And I'll tell you, after I embarked on this marathon adventure, my life has become very, like I'll tell you, I put life into my days. And when I went to Japan, I told you, after 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, men, women, how much they are taking care of their life. They're living life a second time after the age of 60. That also gave me a lesson. All of us have a lesson in that. And one lesson is every moment of our life, be it 10 years, 20 years, 30, 80, 90, we have to be active, we have to be engaged.
So we all should have that purpose in life. We have to remain active. In this process, you are called the marathon legend of SBI. Why are you called the marathon legend of SBI?
You see, in 2005, while I started, initiated this marathon running, or started a liking for marathon running, there was no one in the bank who was doing long distance running. So over a period of time, maybe after 2010 or 11, when other colleagues saw me completing marathons with ease, at 45, 48, 40, 50, 51, 54 years, I'm completing 3 marathons, 4 marathons per year. That was something surprising to a banker. That is surprising to people that for the general concept stereotype of a banker is going to office at 9, come back at 9, only focused on banking, nothing else. I changed that stereotype of a banker. I thought we can have work-life balance. We can enjoy bank work as well as non-office, not banking work, and still inspire thousands and lakhs of people. And when they saw me doing all this and 51 full marathons, and I think I was called as a marathon legend after I completed 25 full marathons, because in the world, there are less than 0.0001% of the world's population have completed 1 marathon. I had completed 25 full marathons at that time. And then I think I deserved that title of marathon legend of SBI. And I would tell that even in the banking sector, finance sector, there is no one who has completed 51 full marathons. And I should thank God. I should thank the prayers of my friends, family, everyone, that I could complete 51 full marathons without any injury.
So you have actually registered your name, well-deserving registered your name in the Hall of Fame of not just SBI, but in many more organizations, and I hope and I believe that a lot many more names will be added and lot many more people will run this marathon. Before I ask the last question, in the interest of time, and I open the forum, uh, I want to ask you, I mean, the last question that I want to ask you is, in how many years you have completed all these 51 marathons?
See, I started a marathon running in the year 2005. So now it is 21. So almost 15 and a half years, I completed 51 full marathons. And I should tell that when I started running, I didn't have an aim of 51 or 25 or full marathons to be completed and all. I just wanted to take up the challenge and see whether I can complete 42 kilometers and be different. But after completing the marathon, I found the enjoyment, the pleasure one gets after facing the distance of 42 kilometers. So after that, I made it a hobby or a pastime. I started enjoying it. And then I increased my tally to 3 marathons per year, 4 marathons per year and all. And this 50 target came when after 25 full marathons, SBI chairman felicitated me. And then I told that since chairman has felicitated me for completing 25 full marathons, that has energized and encouraged me, that will encourage and energize me to complete 50 full marathons. And I kept my word and I completed 50 full marathons and now 51 full marathons. I'll tell you why I do this, just to remain active. Like even the lockdown period last, when lockdown was imposed from March 2020, I was participating in webinars continuously. This is my 188th webinar as giving talk or as guest speaker and all. Why I do is I want to be active. I wanted to be engaged and give the message that we should all keep ourselves active in something which we like. But it makes you positive and gives a powerful message to all the people who have been distressed due to COVID. We are all facing a very tough time, giving a powerful message to everyone that even if it is crisis, let's face it with positivity. Let us respond positively. And then let us not stop all our activities in the name of COVID. Let us do it in a different manner. Then that is a message I wanted to give.
So well said. Wonderful messages to us. We want to ask you many more questions. And I'm sure there are people who has a question and they want to ask you. In the interest of time, I am unable to ask you more questions. We would like to invite you once again in future in one of our future meetings. However, the Q&A session is open, friends, fellow Rotarians and guests. We have 2 minutes. Please ask if you have any question, and then we can proceed to the next part of the meeting.
Sure, Rotarian Shrival. Anyone has questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a suggestion. Why don't you write a book, Nixon ji?
That is in my mind, and I think it has just commenced.
Okay.
Book has just commenced.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Rotarian Girija, for that interest.
Friends, anyone, any more question?
Let me ask one question. So, hi Nixon. So, my question is: there are many individuals or people who have some kind of a problem, maybe with the knees or so, right? And doctor tells them not to walk. In that case, what should they do if they want to take a part, not only in the marathon, a normal walk as well? Do they need to consult a doctor first or like that?
No, any activity which we do, which we are not used to, we should do it after consulting a doctor. That is the thing. And the one like suggestion which I would tell is that we need not run, we need not jog, we need not walk at a very high speed and all. Only we should do something daily to keep our body active. It can be dancing, it can be just walking inside our room, It can be like just throwing a ball or something, so that our body is moving. Like we are giving some kind of movement to our body. So that is what we should focus. We should not think about someone has completed half marathon or 10 kilometers. So I also will start doing it, or I am not able to do it. We shouldn't have that thought. We should instead just focus on ourselves and see whether I am giving enough movement to my body. And we should do it, and that should be that should satisfy us. And if our medical advice suits us, we can go for like a longer distance run or walks and all. So that is something. It's called like I was thinking. It's a physical literacy. Like earlier, Rotaract, all of them like we were giving importance to literacy.
Correct.
And now I think because of the change in lifestyle, everything, we should all give importance to physical literacy. And the awareness that everyone should move their body at least for 15-20 minutes every day.
Sure.
And that movement is not running, it's not jogging, it's not like you have to play football or anything. Just be inside your room, you can do whatever dancing, whatever like maybe small jumping or just throwing a ball, in being inside the room, some kind of movement for your body, walking inside your room. All this if we do, then we will be physically active. And that is required because our lifestyle has changed like anything.
Exactly. Because of this lockdown, our bellies has grown like anything. There is no physical movement which we actually do. So very true.
So I would like to thank on behalf of the entire forum here for sharing such inspiring journey to all of us and motivating us to start waking up early and start running or walking or doing anything for a purpose and a cause. Thank you very much once again for sharing all that today. Over to you, Zubair, to take it to the next level.
Thank you so much. And it was really an inspirational talk or a journey which Mr. Nixon actually told us. And I'm sure all the fellow Rotarians here will echo with me. The level of, you can say, inspiration or the enthusiasm Nixon has shown to us, I'm sure that many of us will get inspired or motivated. And we'll start some or the other activity, right? There is always a good start. And I would also like to thank Shripal for brilliantly hosting this entire session. So it reminded me actually, you know what? It reminded me of one story. There, I'll just take 2 minutes to share it. There were actually two boys in a village. They were playing alongside well. There was a well, and while playing, one of the this boy actually fell in the well, and the second boy who was not so healthy and he was little younger than the other actually pulled him back out. And when this news actually went to the village, there were so many people who were saying, no, this boy is lying. He must not have actually pulled him back because he is not so healthy. The other person was so healthy and heavy in the weight. Then there was some saint around, and he said, no, the boy is telling the truth. And when he was asked, well, how you can say that? So he said, when the boy was actually pulling him back, there was no one around who would have told this boy that you can't do it. Which actually Nixon said, so there it is all into our mind. So if we give an inspiration to our kids as well, right? There are so many things we tell to our kids, hey, don't do this, you'll fall, don't do this. So that gets registered in the back of the mind, which is called a subconscious mind. And then it always remains there. Then our kids, they think that they can't do it because we have registered them that. So that reminded me the story. I thought I will just share it with you. So thank you so much, Nixon. I would now request our Prashant to please give a vote of thanks, President-elect Prashant.
Thank you, President Zubair. Nixon, this was a very brilliant session, eye-opening one, and more importantly, very, very inspiring. I think as Rotarian Girija has rightly said, you should write a book. Maybe I would suggest you should be a motivational speaker or a kind of a performance coach for people like me who need to go outside and start running and maybe do some talks or a webinar or something. But yes, definitely you spoke from the heart. And I think the messaging has been very, very crisp, very clear. So really appreciate you having come down. This was a very motivational thing. And I think I'm motivated to go out and step out for a run, assuming the rains allow me to. So thank you very much, Shripal. Brilliant job in anchoring, as always. And I would also like to thank all the other Rotarians and the guests from the other clubs who have dialed in today. Really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for dialing in once again. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the support.
Prashant Gupta. So with this, friends, the meeting is adjourned. So I would like to thank each one of you for making your presence over here. And I'm sure that with this inspirational talk and thoughts which has been shared, we will do some activities. We will go out, as Prashant correctly said. We will not limit ourselves and look at my first inspiration was to put this photograph. It feels very good when you hold that a medal or a trophy and you show it to people, and it's an inspiration. Thank you so much. With this, the meeting is adjourned. Now the forum is open for the talks.
Thank you, Nixon. Thank you all. Thank you, Girija ma'am. I need to log out, so kindly excuse me.
Sure, sure.
And I have to move on to the second meeting. So kindly excuse me. And
Any
thanks
thoughts,
once again.
Girija ma'am, from you? Any thoughts?
Thank you, Shripal, for taking it up. Yes.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Nixon, for agreeing in a very
Thank you.
short this thing. Yes. And, because of the local situations, I couldn't anchor myself, and I keyed in everything to Shripal, and I really thank him for stepping in immediately. Thank you so much.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bharti.
Thank you,
so many
Bharti. Yes,
presidents
so
from
many.
different clubs you attended.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
Thank you,
absolutely.
everyone. And
Yes.
thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
Thank you,
Kalpana.
Nixon. Take care. Bye-bye. all.
Thank you, Nixon. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Kusma's sister had also attended. Yes, Kalpana
Okay.
Raveshwar. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
thank
will
you,
stop
Zubair.
the
It was a
recording.
great
Thank you so much,
event.
ma'am. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.